Dear students, see last time we started lesson number 9, that is force and laws of motion. Now first we talked about inertia. Now what is inertia? See, the property of a body due to which it maintains its state either at rest or in motion is called inertia. Okay. Now we studied about Galileo's law of inertia. We also saw Newton's first law of motion. There is some modified form of Newton's laws of motion. Okay. Now we saw that unless an unbalanced force act on a body, okay, it will try to maintain its state either at rest or in motion. Okay. Now we talked about momentum. Okay. See, the product of mass and velocity of the body. Now we have to see about the magnitude of the force. See, the outcome of the Newton's first law, we saw that Newton's first law defines force, but it did not say anything about the magnitude of the force. For that we have to study Newton's second law of motion. Now we also saw that momentum is a more important quantity than velocity alone. While, see, when we describe the motion of a body, we can have some information by knowing its velocity, but we can have better information if we know about its momentum. Now see, next we have to see Newton's second law of motion. Okay, first we see the statement. See, the time rate of change of momentum of body is equal to resultant force acting on it. Okay? See, the time rate of change of momentum of a body is equal to resultant force acting on it. Let us say P1 is m into V1 is initial momentum. See, m is the mass, V1 is the initial velocity. Now let V2 is final velocity. We assume that the mass remains constant. Okay, so P2 is final momentum. So what is change in momentum? Okay, now see, let us say m is the mass of the body, V1 is the initial velocity. So P1 is m into V1, initial momentum. V2 is the final velocity, so P2 is m into V2 is final final momentum. See, what is change in momentum here? P2 minus V1. Now see, the Newton's second law of motion says the rate of change of momentum. Okay, rate of change of momentum. Let us say initial time we call as t. So change in time is okay, t minus 0, we can take t only. So the force is equal to rate of change of momentum, that is change in momentum. Change in time we have seen is t. Okay, so force F is equal to m into V2 minus V1. Okay, now see, in the third lesson we derived the equation. Okay, that is V2 minus V1 upon t is acceleration. Okay, so the force is equal to mass into acceleration. Okay, so this is an useful relation. Force is equal to product of mass into acceleration. Okay, now as I told earlier, whenever we come across new quantity, we should ask for the unit and dimension. Okay, now what is unit of mass? This kg. Acceleration unit is meter per second square is known to. Now see, this kg meter per second square is called Newton in honor of the scientist Newton. Okay. So this is about the Newton's second law of motion. See, the time rate of change of momentum of a body is equal to resultant force acting on it. Now let us say m is the mass, v1 is the initial velocity, v2 is the final velocity. So p1 will be m into v1, that is mass into initial velocity. p2 is equal to m into v2 minus v1. Now what is change in momentum? Let us say p2 minus p1 is a change in the momentum, that is m into v2 minus m into v1. See, we can take m common, so m into v2 minus 1. See, the rate of change of momentum is, this is change in momentum, let us say change in time is t minus 0 is t only. So force is equal to rate of change of momentum. Now we have seen v2 minus v1, that is change in velocity upon time, is a is acceleration. Okay, so force is equal to mass into acceleration. Force is mummy or ma. Okay, now unit is, mass is in kg, acceleration is meter per second square, so unit of force is Newton. Okay, now see, next we have to define 1 Newton force. See, this can be asked in definition form in exam. What is 1 Newton force? Now see our equation. F is equal to ma. Okay, suppose mass is 1 kg, and because of this force the acceleration produces 1 meter per second square. F is equal to ma, also will be 1 into 1. Okay, so we can write like this. See, 1 Newton force is that force which can produce acceleration of 1 meter per second square in a body of mass 1 kg. So this is how we define 1 Newton force. 1 Newton force is that force which can produce acceleration of 1 meter per second square in body of mass. Okay, so that is the definition of 1 Newton force. Now see, you come across different unit system. See, the MKS unit is Newton and CGS unit is dyne, that we'll see. Or we can write 1 Newton is 1 kg meter per second square. Okay, 1 kg meter per second square is nothing but 1 Newton. So we have seen the formula. F is equal to ma, force is equal to mass into acceleration. Okay, now we define 1 Newton force. So 1 Newton force is that force which can produce acceleration of 1 meter per second square in a body of mass 1 kg. Okay, now see, there are number of examples of Newton's second law of motion, or we can say in our day-to-day life it has lot of importance. Now see this change in momentum, m into v2 we call as delta p. And delta t is the time interval. Then we can write it F is equal to. Okay. Now see, the time interval for force is applied is also very important. See, it depends on the requirement whether we want to apply more force or we want to apply less force. For example, you might have seen the cricketer or a fielder catching the ball. You might have seen that whenever he takes the catch, he takes hands in the backward direction. You can see again, he takes his catch in the backward direction. So when he takes catch in the backward direction, see, he increases the time interval between the ball and the hand. So when he increases the time interval between the ball and the hand, delta t will increase, so force will decrease and he can catch the easily. Okay, you can see that if you also try that you try to catch like this, you will have some difficulty. But if you catch it like this, it will be easy for you. Those who are going for the cricket cricket coaching may have some experience. Okay, so there are some scientific application or scientific means of this. See here, when a cricketer catches the ball, he try to minimize the force so that he can catch the ball easily. Contrary to this, you might have seen the karate champion breaking the ice block or the tile. So, see the tile is like this. You might have seen that he gives force like this and takes hand instantly. Takes his hand instantly. So what happened in that case? He tried to minimize the force. Okay? Try to reduce the contact area for a given point. Okay? At a given point, thereby increase the force. You can see the tile break instantaneously. So this is how the change in momentum and time interval are important. Okay, now see one more quantity. We have to see the impulse. Now we have seen F is equal to delta P by delta T. So what we can see, F into delta T is delta P. So this product of force into time interval is called impulse of force. See the product of force and time interval for which force is applied is called okay. There is a product of force and time interval for which the force is applied is called impulse of force. Now see what is the unit. Now see force is in Newton, okay, and time is in second. So the unit of impulse of force is Newton second. Okay. Now see on the right hand side we see delta P. There is change in momentum. Okay. So initially we saw first unit of kg meter per second. Why? P is equal to mv. Now here also this is change in momentum delta P, Newton into second. So another unit you should know regarding the momentum is Newton second. So we can see there are two units of momentum. Okay, one is kg meter per second and second is the Newton. So this is about Newton second of motion. See what are consequence of the Newton second law of motion. We discussed some special cases. Now see your equation is F is equal to ma. Okay. Now let us say first what happens if we consider a is equal to 0. Okay. If a is equal to 0, okay, or let us say force is equal to 0. Let us say F is equal to 0. Okay. So what we see here. Okay. Now A is equal to, there are two consequences. One, body is at rest. Okay. See, unbalanced force do not act on a body. So the body is at rest. Now, see A is equal to 0 means, now what is equation of acceleration? Okay. What we see, initial and final velocity is equal. So A is equal to 0 has another consequence. See, the body or object moves with constant velocity. Okay. Now that was, we see the in the beginning of the lesson we see the Galileo's observation. See, if there is no friction, okay, the body will continue its motion with a constant velocity, okay, forever. Okay, but we know such condition do not exist in day-to-day life, or practically some frictional force is always there. Okay, so that's why we see the body stops its motion. But see what happened in our vehicle. See, when you are driving a car or a two-wheeler, okay, or let us say bicycle. Suppose you have observed that even you want to move the vehicle with a constant velocity. Now see, you are just obtain your two-wheeler. Now the parents say, okay, take care, do not drive with a more velocity, only 50 km/h. So suppose you might have seen that you want to keep that velocity 50 km/h constant velocity, then also you require some minimum force, okay, from your vehicle. So from where this force come, or in our day-to-day language we say it is a power. So that power comes from the engine of your vehicle. But what happens when you drive your bicycle? See, when you pedal it, okay, you are giving some force. Okay, that force is resulting from the energy of body. Okay, that energy is given by the body. Then and then also you can continue your motion with a constant velocity. Okay, that is little bit different thing. But see, whenever A is equal to 0, there are two consequences. One, either the body is at rest or stationary, or it moves with a constant velocity. Okay, so this is about the Newton's second law of motion. See, the time rate of change of momentum is equal to resultant force acting on a body. Okay, so we derived the equation for the Newton's second law of motion. Now see, the first law gives the definition of force. Newton's first law gives the definition of the force. Second law gives the magnitude or value of the force. Now next we have to see about the third law of motion. Okay? Next we have to see the third law of motion, that is Newton's Now see, the third law is very interesting. Okay. Now first we see the statement. See, action and reaction. Are force of equal magnitude, but act in opposite direction. Okay, see the statement, action and reactions are force of equal magnitude but act in opposite direction. Okay, now or say to every action, see there is a reaction of equal magnitude in opposite direction. See, the third law is spontaneous. Third law is spontaneous. Okay, now see, for example, okay, this is a board, હું અહીં સ્લેપ કરું છું. કે તો બોર્ડ છે એ સામે એવું નહીં વિચારે કે સામે જતીન છે તો નહીં મારું. Instantly give reaction. It says the force are always in pair. Force are always in pair. Okay, now suppose I slap like this. Okay, the board will give instantly, or the wall will give instant reaction. Okay, that is a reaction. So what I do is a action, and what the board applies on my hand is the reaction. Okay, so the forces are of Newton's third law says the action and reactions are force of equal magnitude in opposite direction. Now see, there are number of examples. Okay, now suppose, see, a block is lying stationary on a table. Okay, now see, consider what are the forces. What are the forces here? See the weight of the block. Okay, that is known to you. See the gravitational force acting on a body is called the weight. But what you do not see is the reaction. Okay, what you do not see is the reaction. Why? See, suppose weight mg is the only force and there is no other force. This will be unbalanced force. Okay, this will be unbalanced force. And by Newton's first law of motion, if there is an unbalanced force, see that there will be change in the state. Now the block should have come into motion, but we see the block doesn't move. So that's why we should consider that there is a force, okay, which balances this your weight mg. See, that we call as N. See, N is a normal force, okay, that we will study later on in the detail. But this is about the Newton's third law of motion. Now, see, suppose a block is moved by using a string. Okay? Okay? But see, many times, see, this is on a surface. You try to pull, the block doesn't move. So there should be a force which balances your external force. Okay? So, to every action, see, there is a reaction. Okay? So, what is the outcome of the Newton's third law of motion? See, the forces are always in pair. Okay? That should be keep in mind. Forces are or action and reactions are force of equal magnitude. Action and reaction are force of equal magnitude acting in opposite direction. Act on different objects. Okay, see what we see here. See, when we tie a rope or a string with a block and try to pull, see, our body gives you the external force. There is external force, and the reaction of the block on the string is the reaction part or the force in opposite direction. So this is about Newton's third law of motion. It says action and reactions are force of equal magnitude act in opposite direction. Okay, act on different object. Or see the outcome of the Newton's third law of motion, that forces are always in pair. See the isolated force. Okay, isolated force do not exist. Okay, so we have studied three laws of motion. Newton's first law of motion gives the definition of the force. Second law of motion gives the magnitude of the force, and the third law says that the forces are always in pair. Okay, or action and reactions are force of equal in magnitude. Okay, but it act on opposite direction. Okay. Now see, next we have to see about conservation of momentum. Okay. Now we see, before that we see the day-to-day life examples of Newton's third law of motion. Okay. Now see, when you give trigger to your rifle, okay, so whatever force you apply, okay, same force will act in opposite direction. That's why see the back part of the rifle is kept heavy. Okay, otherwise you can get injured. Okay, so see, by keeping back part heavier, you try to decrease the momentum, so it moves with a very less velocity. Okay, and there is less force on reaction part. Okay, so this is about use of momentum. Now next is the conservation of momentum. Okay, okay. See, there are different statements. Okay, there is total linear momentum of a system remains constant in absence of external force. Or say they say total linear momentum of an isolated system remains constant. A total linear momentum of an isolated system remains constant, or simply we remember the total linear momentum of a system remains constant. Now we consider a simple examples. Okay, now let us say mass m a moving with the velocity u_a. We assume that UA is greater than UB. Okay. Now MA is the mass of A. MB mass of B. UA initial of B. A. VA is final velocity of A. Now, what we have seen that UA, that is the initial velocity of A, is more than initial velocity of B. So that's why we say they will collide. Okay, they will collide. Okay. Now, okay, now this is collision. During the collision and after collision, okay, now these are the conditions: before collision, during the collision, after collision. So let us say VA is the final velocity of A. VB is the final velocity. Okay, now see what will be the force applied by A on B during the collision. Okay, force applied by A on B. That is FAB. Okay, that is the force applied by A, that will be MA. See, we are using F is equal to MA only. Okay, now this is the action. Why? Because A is applying force on B. Now see the reaction. FBA, MB, VB minus UB upon P. Okay, there is change in momentum of E. Okay, but see the Newton's third law says that action and reactions are equal in magnitude but in opposite direction. Okay, action and reactions are equal in magnitude in opposite direction. So FBA. Okay, now this is the equation which represents the third law, okay, Newton's third law of motion. So FB here is mb vb minus ub upon t minus ma. Okay, now we try to simplify it. Okay, now this we take on the term with initial velocity u and vb we take on one side, and term with the final velocity, that is vb and va, on other side. So we can say see ma va plus mb vb, okay, that is ma ua plus. Now see, we know this is the momentum of the first A, momentum of the B, that is final momentum, that is final momentum of system A and B, that is initial momentum. See, this we can write, okay, this is the final momentum on P dash A plus P dash B, that is the final momentum, PA plus PP. So this is final momentum of the system. This is initial momentum. Now see, the system is the word used in a broad sense. See, our system is made up of two objects A and B. So this interaction between A and B, see, the final momentum is equal to initial momentum. So this is nothing but law of conservation of momentum. See, we have a number of examples based on using this law of conservation of linear momentum in the numericals and the exercise. Okay, so see, the law of conservation of linear momentum says, see, the total linear momentum of a system remain constant. See, what we have seen here during this, no external force is acting on it. We consider object A and B moves with the initial velocity. They have a collision, okay, and after collision also their velocity changes. See, the initial velocity is called velocity of approach. Okay, that is the velocity before collision. See, whatever the velocity they move after collision is the velocity of separation. See, more regarding this you will study in the higher standard. Okay, so this is about the law of conservation of linear momentum. What we have seen today, see, we saw Newton's second law of motion today. See, the time rate of change of momentum gives the magnitude of the force. We saw the third law. It says action and reactions are force of equal magnitude in opposite direction. And the third law, the law of conservation of linear momentum says that the total momentum or total linear momentum of a system remains constant. Thank you.